Hi, this is myself. This is Rama Krishna Kamma. I just want to discuss about the project regarding operating systems. That is nothing but operating system for smartphones. That is nothing but one of the operating systems I'm going to discuss about. It is Android operating systems. Coming to the what is like before going to discuss into the Android operating systems, we just need to know that like what is an Android operating systems. Like we all know that like operating system is act as like a middleware between a software and hardware. So that means that like whenever like we press like any commands in a computer or mobile device, so it will be take from from our input to the like hardware by using the operating system. So it will be act as a middleware. So when you here see into the application, so here like when we enter like any input, like suppose we enter our like name CWID in that particular operating system. So it will be take from our user console and give it to the give it to the CPU for the processing. So this will be take care by using the operating system. Here the manual definition of operating system is a software program that enables a computer hardware to communicate and operate with the computer software. Without a computer operating system, computer cannot be useless. So suppose like one of the good example is like Android operating system. So in computer operating system to run any program, at least one of the operating system must be required. So that may be take care by the operating system. So apart from that, suppose if you want to print a one document. So first of all, what we have to do, like we just need to manually enter that, like we have to print a particular command by using a software. So that will be take care by using a CPU, central processing unit. So this will be take care by the entire operating system. Coming to the different types of operating systems in the present world, like we can able to see that different kind of operating system will be existing present world. So from the Microsoft, it is a Windows operating systems. Coming to the Mac, so Apple, it is a Mac operating system. For so Android operating system, what we have discussing right now. And coming to the Linux, like it's a Linux operating systems will be present right now. So they have unique, each and every operating system have their own unique features will be available. So coming to the like each and every operating system, why I have taken a like Android operating system. So Android operating systems here, Android is nothing but like it's open source. So which is built on the base of the kernel, Linux kernel. So here the most of the probably like Android operating system is using for like mobile devices. Like why the Android system is much popular for mobile devices. So before going to discuss about that, like I just so Android operating system is a family for Android. So that is nothing but so each and every operating system has their unique features. Coming to the like Android operating system, so it is most famous for because of like its APIs, application program interfaces, and moreover like the user interface. That's this is the two things like the Android becomes a most suitable operating system for mobile systems. Just like our other Windows, Linux, and Mac OS, and Android is an operating system. In fact, one of the popular platform for the mobile systems. Actually, it is a like multi-user, multitasking, multi-processor operating systems and runs on the multi-hardware platform. So that's one of the reason to use this Android operating systems. Coming to the what are the characteristics of the Android operating system? Multi-user. Multi-user means that like multiple user operating system allows a multiple user to same computer at a time or different times. Suppose I mean to say that like if you're one person is using one application, so another person also use can same operating system. Suppose taking an example of a mobile phone, we can able to control our mobile phone by using like a screen up and down, like whereas in the case of we can able to control that mobile phone by using connecting by external devices like USB, and we can operate by using a mouse or keyboard, something like that. So that is nothing but multi-user. Multi-processing means nothing but if like in an operating system capable of supporting and utilizing more than one computer processor. I mean to say that like right now we have like so many processors will be there, octa-core, pentacore. So like these kind of processor will be there. I mean to say that like if we have one task will we need to perform by more than one processor, so that like a concurrent processing will be done parallelly, so that it will be lead to perform the task parallelly and efficiently, and so that it will be need to increasing the efficiency of the end of the task. So, and coming to the next one, multitasking. An operating system that is capable of allowing a multiple software process to run at the same time. That means to say that, so suppose if we want to use a two apps for a mobile case, like we are familiar with the apps like Instagram or Facebook. Suppose if we want to use both apps at a time, so we can able to switch the like one app to another app. So that will be take care by the Android operating system. And multi-threading. Operating system allow different parts of the software program that will be run concurrently. As I have discussed in the earlier side, so a multi-threading is nothing but like we can able to handle more than one task at a time with more efficiency. And moreover, the one of the reason to like most of the like companies or the what of the people has been using the Android operating system is it's a like open source platform. So open source means that anyone can able to download the operating system and they can modify according to their own requirements. Suppose we can able to see that like Vivo, Oppo, like they are using their own like operating system like FunTouch OS, like Color OS, this kind of operating system to develop their own specifications, and according to the requirements and user popularity, they are designing their own requirements. That is one of the reason to become like Android becomes much more popular. So let's deep dive into the history of the Android operating systems. So the Android era has been started in 2003, like has been established by the founders of Andy Rubin, Rich Miner, Nick Sayers, and Chris White created the film Android Inc. So in California. So first they thought that like Android operating system is much more popular for like digital cameras, but they have a later point of time they gain like what its importance and like use of mobile phones. That's a reason they have been using for like Android system for developing mobile phones. So later point of time, like they have, Google has been acquired in a 2005 by Android Inc. operating system. So the first Android operating system with the 50 billion. So later, like the 2008, an Android system has been released by HTC, by the HTC in T-Mobile. So here is the logo of Android operating system, which will be changing from 2008 to 2019, like recent versions of Android operating system. So it is in almost like 14 years after Android has been came into the market, and it has been releasing so many different kind of versions each and every year, like kind of things, different updates will be going on, like the Android. So coming to the Android versions, like which will be much more interesting to the topic. So Android like era has been started at like I'm sick to say that 2008. So here it will be updating very frequently and much more like it will have so many things will be going on. Suppose like Android 1.0, 1.1, 1.5, 1.6, like they have a name that different kind of names with like cupcake, donut, eclair, gingerbread, honeycomb, ice cream, jelly bean, Kit Kat, lollipop, marshmallow, nougat, Oreo, pie, that kind of like so many different questions will be available. So coming to the like of the first Android version is Android 1.0. So like in this like why many people will be like a move towards Android, because like in Android 1 itself, like they have introduced so many lot of features like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, alarm. These kind of things will be introduced in Android 1 itself, so that like most and the user interface will be like very easy, so that any people will be like the people without any knowledge about the like illiterates also will be able to understand and be process the things. So that is the reason why Android has been much more click on that day. So coming to the Android 1.1, they have done like a lot of significant changes and upgradations in the GPS kind of things. So coming to the Android 1.5 and 1.6, this has been done a similar kind of updates regarding like the GPS locations, system upgradability, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all these things. Coming to the Android 2, they have been done significant changes to the notifications, user interface changes has been done in Android 2. So coming to the Android 3, that is like honeycomb versions, they're more focusing on the push of notifications, how the user interface need to be increased so that it can be much more easy to the user. And coming to the Android 4, so it is nothing but like they have been more focusing on the like you text input search engines like such input, how we can able to search the process very easily. That can be done by using the Android 4. Coming to the Android 5, they have been more focusing on the wireless technologies like wireless LAN, like wireless Wi-Fi, wireless transmission. All these kind of things will be done by using. So, like from the sixth onwards, like Android has been developed significantly. So we can say that like from 1 to 5, it's Android first part, and 6 to 13 is like we can say that Android is like second part, because like from the second sixth onwards, like they have been introduced a file system so that we can able to manage the files and very efficiently. Memory management, all these things will be done very fastly, so that will be helpful to access the files very easily. So that is the one of the reason. And we have from the 8th and 9 versions also, they have been introduced memory management, device management techniques, so that it can be paging techniques will be introduced, so that it will be helpful to like getting the pages and memory from the backend very easily. That's one of the reasons will be, I mean, much more popular. So one of the recent versions will be 2021. They in February they have released Android 12, that is nothing but snow cone version, and 2022 they have been released like a Android 13th version, that is Terosmo versions of kind of thing they have been introduced recently. So they are planning to introduce a new version in like a coming few months, I guess so. Coming to the design goals of the Android and operating systems. So as we discussed in that, like Android is a multi-user, multitask system based upon the Linux kernel. So Android is mainly focusing on the application delivery to a fantastic user experience. The main design goal of the Android system is like speed, efficiency, compatibility, and standardization. So they focus on the how well we can interact with the applications and how well we can able to use our keystrokes and other actions. That's one of the thing like Android becomes a much more popular. And here comes to the like architecture. Like it is like many people will be thinking that like Android's like kind of like we can say that it's if we develop an app, like it's maybe like just an app, but there is so many kind of different kind of things will be present in this app. That is nothing but like here when we comes to the look into it, the how internal structure will be looks like here. Before like the app creation, we have an Android framework will be need to develop, so native libraries we need to develop. So Android runtime, HAL, HIDL, that is nothing but a low level code we just need to develop. Linux kernel, so this is the like this is the various steps to develop app. So that's why we can get the by the end of the app like Instagram, Facebook, like WhatsApp, this kind of apps will be done by the end of this code. So coming to the memory management technique. So memory management technique, I mean to say that why means like a memory management. So if we can able to handle the memory management, we can able to save the battery, as well as we can get the task will be done efficiently. Yeah, Android automatically manages the memory used by installed apps. When memory is inadequate, the system begins to deactivate the process and applications that have been idle for a long time. Starting with the oldest ones, user does not need to manage the memory or killing the programs manually, because the procedure need to be created invisible to the user. That's one thing. Moreover, the second thing is like a paging and memory mapping are used by the Delvic virtual machines and Android runtime machines. That mean to say that like if we are using like 5 to 6 apps, and in 5 to 6 apps we are using only 2 apps, and which requires some more memory, for the remaining things like we does not require any apps, then that case like the Android operating system will be done automatically removes that apps. So it will be leads to the like a utilization of battery life or CPU resources. So that is one of the things that will be done by the Android operating systems will be helpful to user. Coming to the like process management. So here the process is nothing but an instance of running a process is called as process management. Every time you run a command or run a program, a process is created for it. Suppose like suppose if we enter like some input in a browser like www.tamusi.com. So if we are entering from our keyboard, then the input will be taken from the user and will be given to the like Google servers. So like before going to that, like the Android operating system will be taking the input and give the like CPU or the Android operating system for the processing. Here we have like different types of process will be going on. That is nothing but foreground process, user experience, service process, cached process. So coming to the process management, the foreground is nothing but we all familiar with. All the system process will be run in a foreground. No other process can be run on the same terminal when the process running on the foreground until it complete or destroyed. So this like mean that we can able to see that process. The user experience will be significantly impacted by killing a visible process that is actively performing work that user is aware of. I mean to say that like suppose if we going to close the process because we want to no longer use that process, then we can able to close that process by using click on that particular application. We can close the things. A service process is a one in which in charge of running a services. Although the client cannot see the like operations directly, the operating system will be keep a such process running until there is no enough memory written all foreground and visible process because they're typically performing a task that user cares about. So here's the like magic thing will be happen. That is nothing but like so like some process will be visible to the user, some process will not be visible to the user. The process which is not visible to the user that will be taken care by Android operating system to remove all the things at a time. So coming to the cached process is a one that is not concurrently required. Thus, like it is a free to terminate whenever it seems fit with other process require memory or other resources. I mean to say that like if we are using like one app for a frequent times, like suppose we are opening a WhatsApp frequently for the day. So that what will the operating system will be doing is it will be storing the data in a cache so that it will be get a very fast access. Coming to the device management, Android Enterprise is essentially standard set of Google Execute APIs, and like that is nothing but like as programming, like application programming interfaces and MDMs, mobile device management, provide to use like a build a project to communicate with and manage various parts of Android devices like camera, wireless networks, or background re-rendering. These are the things will be done. So improvements in Android voice from the past, like device selection made simple with Android Enterprise recommendations. So Android zero touch automation enrollment, using the Android's work profile in combination with work and play, using a managed Google Play from the app management. These are the things will be done by using Android operating system so that we can able to increase our efficiency. Mm, so coming to the like a device management like categories, so we can able to have a Kobo or kiosk mode. So I mean to say that it is nothing but a corporate owned or business only. It is a kind of similarly like a private or like privacy kind of thing, which is mainly used by the companies for their own requirements. So like which is managed by entirely like the private owned companies. Only an IT administrator has the authority to choose allows the usage and kiosk mode activated. Corporately owned personally liable to COP. I mean to say that here, despite of the fact that user can download the app from the Google Play Store, they can typically owned by the firm. The company that owns the app has control over the setting the app. The entire device has been its own device owner. The mode gives the app developer to other to over it and gives the remote some freedom. I mean to here like here it is a kind of example we can say that if we have a developed an app, we can able to have some other to change it, and we have a like a BI would bring your own device, which effectively means that user can control the device more than one organization does, while the company can install our profile and regulate the things according to their own requirements, their own privacy policies. So that will be leads to the like a more authority to perform the job management profile. Additionally, it has lower temporary expenditures. File management. So as I said that like Android 1 to 5 is a one version, Android 6 to 12 is another part. So here is a, like a second part is comes to the picture. That is nothing but Android 6 onwards. Android has its own native file management system will be present. With new updates will be starting from the Android higher. So storage was like supported and user will be able to connect and share their apps with external devices like USB, TV or tablets. So here we have two versions of Android, that is nothing but ES File Explorer, Solid File Explorer. So and recently Google has been introduced like one app called Files app, so which will be able to helpful to we can able to transfer and effectively transfer our like file manages the things files. Moreover, like Google has added a cloud sync technology, that new generation of Android operating system concurrently on the market. With this technology, all our applications and accounts connected to the second and third party companies synced with Google, giving a user exchange with a network of files that has been combined with the combined data and credentials. It is nothing but like how we can well manage the things so that we can be able to get the things more fastly. If we don't have organized these kind of things, So it will becomes a, like a very effect like becomes a problem to the user that while we accessing the things. So that is nothing but, so that's why it is all interlinked, like memory management, process management, device management, and file management. These are all the linked with the Android operating system that will be lead to the enhancing the features. Coming to the security management, so we all know that like here we have using the inter-process communication to communicate with the one process with another process. So here we have by using not to make effective security management. Here we have some things will be done by using Android operating system, that is backups and disaster recovery plan, security hardening, cryptography KPIs, firewall management, automatic patch management, account security management. So backup and disaster recovery management is nothing but like when we have like a 3-2-1 rule. That is something but we have to keep 3 copies of the data in two locations. That is one is like offsite and one is the onsite. So that we can, if we have any kind of disaster, things will be done. We can able to back up the things. Security hardening, keeping the update of Android based upon the vulnerability. I mean to say that we have so many ransomware, like presently we can able to see that like ransomware has been attacked by so many devices. So in order to protect from that, we can able to update the things on a regular basis. Cryptographic KPIs, the execution of well-known and often used cryptographic ATS like AES, RSA, SHA, DSA, carefully monitoring SSA connection provides advantage of cyber threats. Another SSA recommendation practice is block route all over the SHS. So we can able to, it is like a similar kind of HTTP and HTTPS in our current scenario. And firewall management, automated patch management, and account security management. This will becomes like very similar to the each and every one. Like here we can able to protect from the viruses and malware from the unauthorized things. And whereas account security management, we can able to protect our device from by using like a setting up the password or patterns kind of thing. So we can all know that the kind of things will be protect from the illegal access of the device. Coming to the user interface, so this is the like main part in the Android system became so much popular. That is not what user can interact with the vision. They use a graphical interface, which is user had been scroll the screen and perform the various tasks. Here you can able to see that here in the first image, we can able to see that like time, date, and we can have some notifications, lock options like a phone button, camera, and networking options, profile management, SIM, all this will be present. In the second case, we have so many apps will be present like nothing but browser, calculator, calendar, camera, Chrome, clock, contacts, docs. That all the different kind of things will be present so that user can interact with very easily and can be perform the task very easily. Coming to the like future direction and conclusions, there are so many people has been using the Android operating system from the 2008 onwards. Becomes right now we have a, like more than 50 billion app has been downloaded from the Play Store. More than 2 billion Google Android users has been using. One of the key reasons Android success is widespread of usability. I can say that regardless of our future, if Android is never created, it may not have a mobile as what we have right today. That may be sure. And the cost also, Android is very much low when compared to other operating systems. So that is also one of the reason to becomes the most popular. Here comes things like companies who are involved in the line of business like us, Dell, Google, HTC, Huawei, LG, Panasonic, Motorola, Vivo, Xiaomi, Realme, Oppo, OnePlus, Nokia, Sony, Samsung. These are some of the like companies like which will be going to use this Android operating system to develop the things. So there are some other companies which will be very minor part will be performing the Android operations also. So they will have their own share in the market. So finally, this is the like entire things will be regarding Android operating system. Thank you.